Welcome to Career Research Paper Part 2. This is going to be the paper setup. This will be a short, easy section here. To make it easy on you, I have created a template. You are welcome. So you're going to want to launch this template for Part 2 and then immediately make yourself a copy because you can't edit mine. So file, make a copy. I would call it Career Research Paper and your name, so that you are then working on your own copy. So for this section, we're not doing very many things. We're just going to go through and do these immediate tasks. Set up the header page number for your last name. So in MLA format, up in the header, it should have your last name and a space bar and the page number. You're going to double click up here in the header, and then you can go in here. Now, my last name is Skinner, so mine would say Skinner, but yours shouldn't say Skinner. It should say your last name. So if your last name is Jones, then you're going to have Jones here. Make sure you still have your space bar before the number 1. And again, you can't just click up here. It's header. You have to double click to get in there, and then you can double click to get out. Okay? Then you're also going to fix this information here at the top. So first name, last name. If my name is Mark Jones, then I'm going to put that there. If you were doing this for another teacher, you put their name here, and then the name of the course, and then the date, and whatever your date is. So if you're doing this on the 20th of October of 2020, then update that as well. Okay. So we set the header page number, update the identification information top left, update your title, and write your introduction. Okay. So we're going to come in here and update your title. So you should at this point already know what you're doing this over because you've been doing the research. So your title needs to have something to do with that career. So if I wanted to be a fitness trainer, I might say my journey to learn about fitness careers. Or if you want to be a lawyer, all about being an attorney. Or if I'm going to be a teacher, Tanya's journey to teaching. Okay, so whatever yours is going to be, come up with some sort of title. You can change it later if you don't love it, but go ahead and commit to something there. Okay. And then you're going to replace the information that you see on here. So the introduction goes here. It should be about half of your first page. This is where you're going to have to talk a little bit about who you are and where you're at in life and maybe a little bit about your background. That's going to go in here. You're not going to get super into all the details about it just yet. But you are going to talk a little bit about yourself and then identify the career that you think you're most interested in pursuing. Then you'll get into breaking down to the details and all this. And I already have this set up with subheadings. So you can see all the required subheadings are in here. And then I actually, not under the intro, but under the subheadings, I tell you what to talk about in each section. So actually read these before you replace them. Okay? This will tell you what goes in each of these sections all through here. Okay, and then the end is going to be your works cited page. And I put on here, be sure those are in alphabetical by the first letter. So like G, L, 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 T, this L wouldn't go here. We'd have to move it. And right now, these are just examples. So you could actually delete all this stuff if you wanted to, but you're going to replace that with your works cited. I'm telling you now they go in alphabetical order because as you get ready to put them in the next session, put them in alphabetical order. Then you don't have to reorganize them. Good tip, right? So anyway, and that will say the words works cited at the top. So don't worry about all these other sections yet, though. The only section that you have to worry with right now is going to be the intro. And on the home page of our class, I do have an example of a paper. There's actually a bunch of stuff down here at the bottom. But where it says research project links, it says example paper. Now, my paper's long because I wrote it, and I like to write. But you can see here, my career exploration is all I called this at the top. When searching for a career, one must think about all the aspects of that career, from job satisfaction to salaries to skills they possess that match up with the job qualifications. There's been a trend in recent years for increasing health and wellness within many occupations, presumably due to the rising cost of healthcare and insurance premiums. For this reason, and due to my personal interests and passions, I am most interested in pursuing a future career in physical fitness training. So that's what I wrote this whole paper about. Now, you can say something like that. You could say that through the course of my business communications course, I have been thinking about what to do with my future. My father is a pastor and my mother works in a bank. I know that neither of those occupations are the one for me. However, I really enjoy being outdoors. La 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 la. For this reason, I am most interested in pursuing a career as a forest ranger or whatever. Okay? So that's what we're looking for in your introduction. So it'll be a couple of sentences long. It should be at least this long, but it doesn't have to be like super, super long. But this top part should take up about half your page. Okay? All we're looking for here is going to be that introduction. Now, you are going to submit this at this point to me so that I can read over your introduction and make sure that your whole paper looks like it's set up properly before we move on. Just looking at your header and your heading information here at the top, and then giving you some feedback on your introduction. So you will submit those to me so that I can look those over before you move on to that next section. So that's pretty much it for this particular part. Once you have that updated, you're good to go, and then we will continue on with part 3.